So, today is the iPhone's 10th birthday. 1 billion handsets. Imagine that. 1 billion handsets have been sold so far, making it one of the most successful tech products in history. But just how big an impact has it had on our lives? Well, we're joined in the studio by Nick Braund, Head of Technology at PHA Media, and brand and reputation expert Jonathan Gabay. Nice to see you both. Jonathan, 10 years. I can't believe it.
I know. Where did 10 years go? Went where my hair went, I think. I want actually, at this point, I just want to say something on TV, that I am a member of AA, which is Apple Anonymous, because I'm so addicted to their brand.
Right.
I absolutely love Apple. I actually was one of the first adopters of Apple. I'm not talking about just the phone, but the actual computer itself. And I think part of the magic of Apple is the way it's been branded and the way it's been basically marketed.
Well, you talk about the magic of Apple, but it's not always been the case, has it, Nick? There was a bit of a backlash against Apple because people had to buy new chargers, they had to buy new sorts of headphones and adapters, and Apple do have this way of drawing you in and then cleverly keeping you there by doing these sort of techniques, which are sometimes seen as a bit out of hand, aren't they? Don't you think a bit off?
I think it's interesting that they've been around for 10 years. They've sold almost 1.2 billion phones. I was looking at a great story that eBay came out and said that in the last 3 months, every second for the last 3 months. The popularity of it is amazing, but you're right, people are brought into that system. I've got an Apple Watch that I use for other things, but people forget about some of the blips. So I remember back, I'm sure you do, iPhone 4 antenna gate.
Oh my gosh,
So 2011, the whole point where you put your hand over the left-hand side of the phone and you couldn't make a call. But people forget about that.
But with antenna gate, which was a classic actually, only Apple could do this from a branding and a PR point of view. They actually had a guy who was an Apple fan, a fellow Apple fan, and they released a song about the antenna gate, saying that if you don't want, the phone, bring it back and we'll replace it and stuff like that. And it was a song. I mean, whoever did that in PR or advertising in terms of a major brand? What I'm saying is that Apple have been innovative, so when you've got things like, you're right, it annoys people about the different plugs and all the rest of it. But, these things move the entire industry on.
They do, but people are going to start getting frustrated. The fact that you're right, there was a massive pickup at the last time that you weren't able to use your standard headphones, and you have to then go and buy Apple's own. A lot of people said, I'm not having that. I've got my devices, and you're making me change things. And people do get bored into the infrastructure, clearly like Jonathan. But it does give an opportunity for Samsung with the Galaxy 8, one of the best phones available on the market.
We know people like Jonathan worship in the Church of Apple, but you have crossed to the other side. You actually own an Android.
I do. I've actually brought it with me. So I've got this one. So this is a Macate. So
Jonathan can't look at it.
I can't look.
Macate, which is an American brand. It's an Android phone, and I love it.
Like an Apple, actually.
The thing is,
it does look like an Apple.
But Apple, the people who revolutionised the smartphone, a lot of people have aspired because it is a thing that people want to get hold of. But companies like Macate, LG, Samsung, they are offering new and different things that Apple aren't doing because they're trying to catch up, and they are doing so. And they're putting pressure on them every single day. So the reason why I like them is it does give you that more versatility, and you can be a bit more creative. What happens with Apple is you are stuck into their system, and you can't move away. But actually, the ability on Android and other phones is that you can play around with it and you could customize it to yourself. And that's what people are crying out for, because we can't evolve phones too much more. And one of the things that I personally think Apple need to do is look at the next evolution, because over 2/3 of their revenue comes from their phone. Now, that's not going to last. So cars and other evolutions they're going to bring into the market. But what these guys are doing is catching up with things like security and some of the hacking we've seen recently that other people other people are going to pick up.
Oh, come on. You just said about hacking. And you know, and I know that half of you is still Apple. So there's still some of you
I've still got the watch.
You've got the watch, and I'm proud of you for that. But the thing is that you know and I know that when it comes to hacking, the ecosystem, the Apple ecosystem, seems to be more secure than Android.
I would say right now it is, because you've had that brand that's been built over the last 10 years, and they've got that legacy. And the difference is that with Android, you've got so many different players in the market. I actually think that as we evolve and new phones that come out, they are going to be priding themselves on the security aspect, because it's something that people are going to be crying out for.
Just very quickly, because we're short of time, but Nokia were dominant for a long time.
Absolutely.
And then suddenly Apple took over. Will we all still be buying iPhones, do you think, in 10 years' time? Or or do you think something else will have taken over? I mean, where's Apple going to go next to really capture the market?
Well, I think the next one, maybe after I, would be the J phone, yeah, which is going to be for everybody, and it's going to not just be about something that's in your pocket or on your wrist, but something which I think we're going to go more into AI.
Yeah,
and AR as well, don't you think?
People want technology that is smarter, that allows them to do things that they don't have to do themselves.
Yeah.
And so, you know, on the way here, when I was using different apps to try and find out my navigation, people want that information to be created for you. And actually, new devices that work with you and what you do in your day-to-day life are actually going to be the ones that take things on.
Yeah,
now, I think Apple are going to be involved.
I think I want the next Apple phone to have teleportation on it. I think that would help.
That would be handy.
Yeah,
wait for September.
Forget GPS. All right.
Heard it here first.
Jonathan, Nick, thank you both very much.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Let's see what's happening in All Out Politics today with Adam.
Well, it's an incredible...